Alright, so looking at example 1, letter A, so it says for every 3 boys standing in a line, there are 4 girls. What's the ratio of boys to girls? Now the important thing here is we always have to look at that final question. It says, what's the ratio of boys to girls? There's that 2 that we saw on the last slide. Okay, so that's your colon. I'm going to use the colon since that's the one we're going to practice with. Okay, so that 2 is where your colon goes. You've got to get your numbers in the right order to match the sentence. So if boys was before the 2, then the boys number needs to come before the colon. So how many boys were there? There were 3 boys in line. How many girls are there in line? There's 4 girls in line. So our ratio is 3 to 4. Now the second part of the question says, if there are 9 boys in line, how many girls are in line? Okay? And one way to figure this out is we want to take our ratio. We had 3 to 4. And it's saying, well, now there are 9 boys in the line. So this 3, that was our boys, right? Our first number was our boys. Our second number was our girls. So that boys number is going to become a 9. And we need to figure out if this ratio is going to stay the same, what does that new girls number have to be? So ask yourself, how do you get from 3 to 9? Right? We have to multiply by 3. If we're going to multiply this one by 3 in order to keep it the same, we have to multiply the girls number by 3 also. So 4 times 3, my final number that I'm going to end up with is going to be 12 for that new ratio. So there are 12 girls in the line if there are 9 boys. Okay? Moving on to example number 2. Okay? So now we've got a bottle of hand sanitizer. It's got 5 parts of aloe for every 2 parts of distilled water. What's the ratio of aloe to water? That's our first question. So aloe to water. So if here's my colon, the first one should be the aloe, the second number should be the water. So aloe was 5 parts, water was 2 parts. So my ratio is 5 to 2. Now second part of this question is if there are 8 parts of distilled water, how many parts of aloe are there? Okay, so just like the first one that we did, we're going from a ratio of 5 to 2. Now keep in mind it says 8 parts distilled water, so my water, which was the 2, is going to change into an 8. I'm asking myself, what's the new aloe number? So ask yourself, how do you get from a 2 to an 8? Well, you multiply by 4. So that means with the 5, I have to also multiply that one by 4. 5 times 4, we know that's going to give us 20. So we have 20 parts aloe. Alright, last one on this. C, we've got a class counts the number of vehicles that pass by its school from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. There are 3 times as many cars as trucks. What's the ratio of trucks to cars? Okay? So first number should be trucks, second number should be cars. Now this one's a little tricky because there aren't 2 numbers. There are 3 times as many cars as trucks. So that means for every 1 truck that passes by the school, 3 cars pass by the school. Alright, so our ratio for this one is 1 to 3. Now if we've got 45 cars passing by the school, how many trucks pass by? So same thing we did before, we're starting with a ratio of 1 to 3. Now remember this first number is our trucks, the second number is the cars. The cars became a 45, so that 3 turned into a 45. We need to ask ourselves, what's the new trucks number? Okay? So how do we get from 3 to 45? Okay? We're going to have to multiply by 15. If that doesn't come to your head quickly, you can always do 45 divided by 3, and you're going to get that 15. Okay? Now I've got to take that 1, and I have to also multiply that one by 15. 1 times 15, we know is just 15, though. So we have 15 trucks that pass by the school.